Hello again. It's another early morning in the office, Friday morning, and it's time to give you an update. Have you gone to a fast food place 2 times in a row? Well, I just did that. Went to dinner at Whataburger last night and then got their breakfast. Their breakfast is underrated, folks, so you gotta do it. Obviously it's 7 a.m., so I'm here at the office by myself. See, look at the fun light bulbs there. It's great. Let's see, how'd this week go? I had a couple sleepless nights. I historically have not been a very good sleeper, and that happened to me twice this week. I'm just restless. I don't know if it's stress. I don't know if it's discomfort. I have no idea. I've never really known. This morning was one of those, and I thought it was interesting because I'm 28 now, and this morning was another moment where God gave me a time to reminisce about how my life's transpired. Because when I was sitting there in bed, I was looking back through photos and some of the old photos where I'm back in college, and I realized, man, this is the first time I'm able to grasp what a decade feels like. 18 to 28. Because you can't really, at least I can't really do that well as a kid. From 8 to 18, I'm barely able to hold myself together in my childhood insanity. And I'm just aimlessly walking around the office because, no one's here. So I can't really think of 8 to 18, but I can think of 18 to 28 when I get out of my own and I go to college. And it gave me a moment to really thank God again, of just looking past all sorts of different mistakes and flaws and character traits that weren't great that I had, and really help give me that space to develop and become the kind of man I am today, that I just continue to be in awe of the change. I know that in the midst of it, my parents even, and all sorts of other people were like, dude, you made a 180 difference. You were not talking the way that you talked before, when you were in college or growing up. So I'm very thankful for that. And, part of my thankfulness too, I guess, is a little bit momentary. It's been a good week. As I've told you guys, I'm on a rampage to bring in sales. Well, this week I have had 4 deep dive sales meetings. That's the final sales meeting before they decide to work with me. Followed up with a guy who I'm going to talk to again today to finally come on board next week. And I scheduled another couple sales calls, these deep dive calls, for next week. And I got some people to follow up with that I've talked to before. So, folks, things are happening. So it's great. And there's, there's all sorts of other follow-ups I can do too, but I don't know why this momentum didn't happen, for the past 4 months. For the past 4 months, it's just been work has been trickling in here and there. And April was really the first month where it's oh, I gotta do some work. So then I start putting in work, and hey, what'd you know? Some good relationships are panning out, which is fun. And so I'm excited to see how it goes, and excited to see where, how many of these appointments close to be clients. And some of them are pretty small, startup people or people with small businesses, but, there's still people that need help. And if I start off with them well and do a good job with them, then I can grow with them. Not only with their business size, but also with my fees, Yeah, all that means I had a pretty good week, One cool thing is I talked to an accountant here locally, Heather Fry CPA. This year was a pretty tough year for filing taxes. So she conveniently decided to no longer put bookkeeping as a service on her website. And So we had a very positive conversation over an hour talking together about what we're trying to do and my development and our focus in the bookkeeping work. And so she said, all right, cool. Let me pass you a couple people and give you a try. And that means, hey, that's great because we've done great work. So as long as we just keep doing what we've been doing for these 2 people she gives us, this could be a very good referral resource. And part of my efforts this summer is to prove what works and doesn't work. Because throughout the summer, we'll be getting to a goal of 50 clients that I want to hit with my current team. Through the course of that, I need to prove what's good or not good marketing moves so that whenever I hire someone to come in and do the marketing work and sales, I can say, hey, do these exact things. Instead of how a lot of companies are set up where they just say, hey, you have experience in sales and marketing, so good luck. That doesn't help at all. No, and then they struggle and have a lot of self-doubt, and then they start looking for another job. I need to set them up for success, which means I have to put in the work to make sure that we can actually market ourselves and bring in work consistently. And by the way, consistently without needing to spend ads. I'm pretty adamant about making sure that any company is able to generate work without needing to make sure their ads are good. What I mean by that is, if you're running a Google ad or a Facebook ad and it shuts down or your account's suspended and you can't run an ad for a month and a half, I don't want sales to just dramatically stop and we don't know what to do and put us in a terror mode. What I want to be able to do is I want to say, hey, that's okay. We've got other channels that we're bringing in that require just our efforts as good salespeople and marketers that brings in work, like referral relationships with payroll companies or accounting companies or marketing and coaching companies. If we just hit up all these places and tell them about how the heck we're a great bookkeeping source, then some of them will say yes and give us work, and we'll happily pay them a referral incentive for that. And then they do that a couple times and then they just keep doing that forever, hopefully. But I want our team to be able to do that all the time so that we don't get in a state where we're just relying on, where we're dependent on something. What am I trying to say? I don't want us ever to be in a spot where we're completely 100% dependent on something else to generate leads in business for us. I want our team to always have some of their capacity and some of their leads coming from the efforts that they create themselves. Because I think that's really powerful for making sure an organization's really stable. So, anyways, longer video, good rants, good little week, and so I'll edit this up and got a couple sales meetings. I'm gonna meet my bookkeeper who's starting May 15th, this next Monday. So, exciting times. See you next time.